Hi everyone, I'm Shirley Ubade, aka Mr. Mahogany, the CEO of Fashion Finance Africa. Welcome to this YouTube channel where I share business insights I've garnered from over 30 years experience in the fashion industry. Today, I'm continuing our series on the ultimate guide to making money in 2025 as a fashion entrepreneur. This is part 3 of the series. And if you haven't seen the previous parts yet, I encourage you, I tell you, I strongly recommend that you go back and watch them. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below to stay updated. We'll be talking about getting your money habits right. So let's get into it. In this video, I'm sharing the financial secrets every fashion entrepreneur needs to know to scale up in 2025, from budgeting to finding the right funding. These money moves will set you up for long-term success. So without wasting any time, how do you manage your money? How do you make sure your business is successful? How do you make sure you don't go bankrupt quickly? How do you make sure you don't overspend? How do you get all your pricing right? These are some of the few things we're going to be talking about. First and foremost, know your numbers. What do we mean by that? Okay, classic example. I'm going to use designers as an example, yes? Somebody says they're going to make this t-shirt. So they go to this market, they buy the material. The material costs them, let's just say 10 Naira, for example. They buy some thread, they buy some buttons, they buy a few other things, and in total they spend 12 Naira. Then when they now come to selling it, they say they're selling it for 15 Naira. And first thing I ask them is, how did you get to the price of 15 Naira to sell it? They said, well, I spent 10 Naira material, 12 Naira on accessories, and then I'm making about a 25% profit, so I'm making about 3 Naira on the t-shirt. Wrong. You've got all your costings wrong, you've got your pricing wrong. What about the electricity? What about in Nigeria? You most likely are running a generator. Are you not going to pay yourself? Yes? What about all those extra costs? What about your marketing budget? Where's that money coming from? You've got to add all these things. You've got to allocate a proportion and a percentage of all those different things towards the overall cost, so that lets you know what the t-shirt really costs. All right? Very important that you do that. Secondly, in terms of that, cash flow. You hear some businesses that they made billions and billions of Naira, and the next thing they go on bankrupt. Why? Because they could not handle their cash flow. They couldn't pay their salaries, they couldn't meet their creditors or their debtors or whatever it might be, so therefore they went out of business. You've got to manage your cash flow. So it's not a situation that you do a job, you make 2 million Naira, and then you then decide, hey, I'm going to go buy myself a lovely handbag for 1.9 million. And you only leave 100,000 in your bank account. Because when your bills come the next day, how are you going to pay them? So you've got to always maintain a steady level of cash in your bank account so that you can meet any demands for your business. And in business, guys, there's always a lot of unexpected expenses that will arise that you didn't budget for, but if you don't pay them, they could make or break your business. Budgeting. When anybody comes to me, my team, and they say they want to do this, they want to do that, they want to do an event, they want to do something in the fashion industry, the first thing I say to them, I don't even want to know about the idea, I'm not even bothered about the idea. Where's your budget? You have to know how much it's going to cost. It's a bit like, remember in part 1, we spoke about goals. How can you get somewhere if you don't know where you're going? It's the same thing with budgets. If you don't know what it's going to cost, how do you know if you have enough money to do this project or not? So you have to have your budget, which includes income and expenditure. Also include things in kind that you might get. You know, your mom might be very nice and very sweet to you and donate a whole box of makeup to you. You have still got to cost that. You still got to put in your budget, because next time when those supplies run out, your mom may not be nice enough to give you another box. That means you're going to have to buy it yourself. And if you didn't cost it properly, if it's not in your budget, you suddenly realize you now don't have enough money to buy those products that you need to do your business. And what happens? You go out of business. You don't want to be doing that, okay? So please make sure you do that. Track your expenses. Guys, if you see my spreadsheet, I start at the beginning of the year, it's done monthly. I break it down into different sections, income, expenditure. I allocate costs to office costs. I allocate to each of the individual projects, to each of the different companies. If I spend £1, it goes into that budget sheet. I have to know where I'm spending my money. It also helps me to see where I'm overspending, where I'm underspending. It also helps me to see what my profits are like. So, for instance, I do lots of events. I do fashion events. If I do a fashion show and it's costing me 20 million, I need to know how I spent my money. So when it comes to the following year, I can decide, well, I wasted money here. I didn't allocate enough money here. So I need to spend a lot more money. But that can only be done if you have a budget and that you're tracking your budget. So please, guys, have a budget. I know you don't like these things. So if you don't like having to do finances yourself, or as a lot of people in the industry will say, I'm not good at doing finances. I hate money matters. I don't want to talk about money. Get yourself a bookkeeper. Everybody's got a mathematician in the family. Find someone that it's just basic. You can get a simple spreadsheet, fill out each of the different columns, put headings, put dates, allocate the figures, simple as that, okay? What you should also do is, how would I put it like this? Have an emergency fund. Remember, your mom always used to say, you need to have something for that rainy day. In business, you definitely need to. So, guys, you must have emergency funds. As your mom used to say, always have something for a rainy day. Why is this important? Because anything can happen at any time. You suddenly get a rush order in, the client is going to pay you but can't pay you immediately, but you have to deliver, you can't let them down, you can't wait for the money to come in, you've got to rush out to the market, get your makeup, get your cloths, get your threads, get your buttons, whatever it is you're doing in the fashion industry, you've got to go and get it immediately. You need to have that money. Because sometimes when you call your friend, your cousin, your uncle, your brother, your sister, whoever it might be, and say, please, I need an emergency loan, they'll say, I'm sorry, I don't have. Then what happens? You could potentially lose the business. So you really don't want to be in that. Set your financial goals. So what's your target? How much do you want to hit? Yes? How much do you want your turnover to be? I can tell you, we've got our turnover in our company. Everybody knows what their targets are. How much equipment rental they need to do, how many events they need to do, how much they need to make to break even, to make a profit. We all know, we know what our salary cap is. You need to have the same in your fashion business. You need to know what your targets are, both for the short term, medium term, and the long term. Absolutely essential. If you don't have all these things in place, I can guarantee you one thing that's going to happen. You are not going to make any money. He who plans to fail, fails to plan. I bet you I got that wrong. Think about that. But think about it, yeah? Correct me if I got it wrong. All right? I'm not going to repeat it, but listen to it again. I did it on purpose. All right? So, I want to recommend something to all of you. All right? And this is how I live my life. Somebody gifted me with a book. Yes? It was called The Richest Man in Babylon, yeah, by George Samuel Clason. Now let me tell you how that operates. There's just one principle I took out of it, which was this. For every single income that I get, I divide it into three parts. Everything, unfailingly, this is what I always do. And it has helped me be where I am. And I know a lot of my friends that follow this doctrine, it has helped them. That's why they're rich. That's why they have money. So if you want to be rich, you want to make plenty of money in 2025, listen to this. So number one, keep 1/3 for bills. You got to pay your bills. You have got to pay your bills. All right? Number two, 1/3 should be for investment stroke savings, because you've got to plan for the future. All right? And the final part, what's that for? Can you guess? You can't guess? That's for you. You have got to reward yourself for the hard work that you've done, because that's what motivates you to do more work. So 3 ways of dividing your money. 1, what did I say? 2, what did I say? 3, what did I say? Okay? I'm not repeating them. You need to be saying it, what I just said to you. All right? So guys, if you follow these doctrines, if you follow everything that I've said before, it's going to be amazing. You're going to make plenty of money in 2025. What I want you to do is get hold of that book. Put some comments in the comment section below. Yeah? Tell me what parts of it you found interesting, or what parts that you need me to give you some more information on, and I can guarantee you I will answer every single comment or question that you put in the comment section. Guys, have an amazing 2025, and here's to making plenty of money.